focusing on before September?
Yeah, just the leadership aspect. Getting better at every part of being a quarterback, but for the most part, it's just, really just being more of a leader, vocal leader, and having people buy into what I'm talking about, and also having them buy into what Coach Kelly is preaching.
What are some of those things that Coach Kelly has told you during this off season together after you guys really settled in last year?
Yeah, I mean, what he said was he wants to see me step up more as a leader, hold people more accountable to the standard that we know that we need to be at to achieve success that we need to go to. We got high expectations for ourselves within the program, and it's going to take a lot to get to there. But I'm willing to do it with this group of guys. That's why I decided to come back to LSU to achieve something great with these guys.
High expectations, not only for you, but for your entire offense, from the receivers to the O-line. What do you guys do in the offseason to keep building those relationships so that it translates on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's pretty tight-knit on the offensive side. The whole team is tight-knit. Obviously, we do player-led practices, which gives us a chance as leaders to go out there and lead a practice, hold people accountable, showing up, getting a good work in against each other while also being smart. But those are the little things that we do just to go out there and really build that competitive spirit and have fun against each other.
You see your defense maybe more than anybody does, and I know they're not making contact with you right now, but when you look at that big defensive line coming into 2023, give some other quarterbacks some advice for how to evade that pass rush.
Hopefully I don't want you to evade the pass rush. I want them to get as many sacks as possible, but the D-line, they're monsters. Mason Smith, Mekhi, Wingo, Ovi, we got Savion Jones, and then, Harold Perkins rushes the passer. So it's a nightmare out there.
And you're glad that it's not you on the other side.
Yeah, I'm glad they're my teammates.
All right, Jayden, before we let you go, you've been in Baton Rouge a little over a year now. What is the number one go-to thing to eat when you're in an off day in Baton Rouge?
For me, red beans or rice. Love that. You can never go wrong with a po' boy. Never go wrong with anything, really. Shrimp po' boy. You can never go wrong with anything. I never had a bad meal since I've been there, obviously for a reason. It's great food out there.
Wise words. Jayden, thanks, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Wingo, Mekhi, welcome to Media Days. How has this atmosphere been for you here so far?
It's been a great atmosphere. Just being able to answer all the questions, talk to the people, it's been really fun.
When it comes to this LSU defense in 2023, Jayden was just laughing about how bad he feels for other SEC offenses when they have to look across the line and see y'all's defensive line staring them down. How do you take the next step this season?
I'll start by saying I feel bad for defenses that have to face Jayden. He's a great player, but I think the defense can be really good this year. Getting a guy like Mason Smith back, a guy like Harold Perkins coming into his second year, and transfers like Omar, I think those guys will be really great, and we could be really good.
How do you and Mason push each other, especially throughout his recovery from that injury last season? What's that relationship like?
Me and Mason have a great relationship. We respect each other as players a lot, and everything we do is kind of like a little competition. Now, a little friendly competition, like I want to run faster, I want to lift this weight faster and things like that. But we really respect each other's games, and we'll compliment each other great.
Who's faster and who lifts more?
Depends on the day.
All right, that's a good answer, good answer. You mentioned Harold Perkins, Jr. He burst onto the scene for everybody last year, but I'm sure you guys were expecting the performances that he had. How has he gotten better from the end of last year to now?
He's been great, just taking the coaching and just paying attention to the small details and really getting the film book and just getting better and better, not letting the outside noise get to him and just being a pro, showing up and being consistent day in, day out.
Speaking of the outside noise, this was an LSU team coming into last season that no one was giving a ton of attention to. You guys go out, you win the West. How do you manage that now completely different a year later?
Honestly, you just have to forget it. The standard last year is the same as this year. We want to win a national championship. That's the standard, and it's going to take, coming in day by day, practice by practice, week by week, and just progressively getting better.
For you personally, what ways have you gotten better? What's your focus been before this season?
My focus has been just trying to be a better leader and be more of a vocal leader. I can't just be a guy that lead by example. If guys are looking to me for advice, I have to be that vocal leader to be able to lead them in the right direction.
Mekhi, you mentioned Jayden Daniels and how lethal he is for your offense. As a defensive guy, throughout practice, whether it's last year, throughout the spring, going into fall camp, what is it that makes him such a talented quarterback?
You know, he's a phenomenal player that if you let him sit in the pocket, he'll pick you apart. But if you pressure him too much, he'll take off for 60 on you. It's just very hard to contain a player that's that smart and really that fast and athletic and can really push the ball down the field.
Keeps you guys on your toes during practice, huh?
Definitely, all the time.
All right, I asked Jayden this when it comes to the go-to meal in Baton Rouge, and you're kind of laughing at him a little bit, maybe because you just didn't like his choice as a fan of the meal, but what is your go-to meal in Baton Rouge?
Honestly, I like the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls from Raul's, or I'll go to Geno's and get a lasagna.
Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. You had me there. Mekhi Wingo, thank you so much. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate it.